We were on anti-aircraft defense of the Dieppe boys going over to France and coming back. We were their defense, anti-aircraft. We had a break in the phone line. We had phone connections to each gun. And there was a break in the phone line because they were shelling constantly. And I went out to repair the phone line with my buddy Boykowicz. He was from Alberta. And all of a sudden, a German 88 was sniping at us, and that becomes very personal.
Well, we was captured. The Japanese came aboard. All the torpedoes were pointed at us. They were circling us, and we saw, you know, like in the school you're talking about, like little monkeys. We are small, but they were looking at us, playing like saying a big joke because they were just a merchant marine boat against all those torpedoes. Well, I tell you this, we survive day to day, a day at a time.
There was one gap open, you know, one outlet where the Germans managed to keep it open. And we finally closed it. And it was my regiment, we closed that gap. And that's when we caught many, many prisoners. And there was as always wounded and casualties and many prisoners. And it was a massacre.
And Falaise Gap, well, that's where we knew we were in a war. I know that, I have to say that. And I see some pictures of it after, you know, and I didn't see the terrible things that happened, but I went through where we went through, you can see that. There's 10,000 Germans killed and 70,000 wounded.
When you're dressed in a uniform and you have your overcoat and you have your hat and all that. But I remember going on sweeps, going on raids. 2 o'clock in the morning, they'd give you a piece of fat pork, mostly fat, which you would eat, because if you didn't eat that, you ate nothing. But that kept you warm. And they would take you out by truck starting, let's say, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning to get on your spot to maybe 2 or 3 in the morning, our raid. And we would go in open trucks. And this was in the winter time, freezing cold, and we'd stand there and the wind coming at us, and it didn't mean a thing. The pork really must have helped because it was complete fat, and you know, I never ate anything like that, but you get used to it because that's all there is. And if they give you more, you'd eat more.
There was going to be a raid on Dieppe. We practiced before for it, but it was a hell on earth. But everything was in such a frenzy, I'm telling you, it was unbelievable.
George Patton's group came up there, moved fast. He did believe in slow poking, and he came out and liberated thousands of us at Nuremberg. They'd moved us from Nuremberg. We walked for about a week ahead, and we crossed the Danube, and they blew the bridge up behind us because the Third Army was moving so fast, actually.
Another close call was on the day of what was called the Battle of the Bulge, just near the end of the war. It was just a few months away. The Germans decided they're going to do a big advance and break through our lines and the American lines and whatnot. And the Americans were screaming. Hey, we're trapped here. They got us from all sides, you know, we need aircraft support, you know, and they better come and so on.
The first torpedo that came in was right where he was. He lost his life. If we hadn't had that fight and we hadn't been changed over, I wouldn't be here talking to you now.
What we saw was unbelievable. And this was a Latvian camp, and they were like walking skeletons. They were just a terrible thing. Yeah, we saw it. And I knew that these people were in a concentration camp, and I know the suffering they went through.
And well, we were, of course, right when the war finished, we found out right away, we heard about Buchenwald and Dachau and Sachsenhausen. And in Dachau, when the Americans liberated Dachau, he was still alive. But there was a typhus epidemic there. And he died 5 days after the Americans liberated Dachau. He died. Thousands died. The Americans didn't have time to to make individual graves, so they were all buried in a mass grave. In Belzec, they killed an estimated 10 to 15,000 Sintis. These are gypsies. That is known. They killed a lot of Poles, but there was other camps where they killed Russian prisoners of war. One camp was Majdanek, was a big camp where they killed Russian prisoners of war and Polish people. And they killed a lot of Polish people in Auschwitz. There is a wall there where they shot them.
Well, but in convoy from England to up the Mediterranean to Sicily, we had 3 or 4 ships torpedoed and they sunk. One of them had part of our battery.
Freedom, to me, is the fact that we did beat the Germans, and I'm very happy that we did. Otherwise, I'm sure the whole of Europe would have been taken over. The youngsters of today don't really realize what was done to save them, really.
What makes me proud is when I meet other World War II veterans. You know, you got to feel it because you did it. It's not like you heard of it, you did it, you were there.
You have to be proud because you know how you became a veteran and how you walked away from it, okay? I never thought there was anything heroic or something special that you did that you have to be praised for it and be compensated for it and so on.
Well, I think what you're doing is admirable. You're the only man that I know that is doing this, that you're bringing it to the attention, and you have realized that we're on the minority now. There's not many of us left. You're just in time, and you've realized it, that it's necessary to let them know, well, look, this is what happened, and thanks to these guys, you're still here and you're not subjugated by anyone else.
I can remember when I was going to school in Halifax, there was always somebody for Remembrance Day to tell us what war is all about and what it means.
I'm very, very pleased and very proud of it. Like on Armistice Day, they call out, "Thank you, thank you." We're crying, I'm telling you, we're crying.